Got to go get my daughter from school pretty quick, but I was playing around with this on the ISM purchasing agreement. This is what the Goldman Sachs managers are taught to use. It's the manufacturing purchasing managers index, PMI is what they call it. It's a gauge of the economy strength. Normally they say when it drops below 50, I've got this white line drawn across here at 50. That's where you hit major problems. That's considered recession type territory. Anything below 50 is like thin ice below, leading into a possible recession. It looks like we broke it. Well, I mean, we dipped over here in 2020. We came back. We actually dipped into it in July of 2019. Pretty much, it was at least September of 2019. We broke below it. That was a red flag. There was something wrong with the economy then. It bounced back. It looked like we were going to bounce back okay, and then it did kind of the same thing back in 2007 and 8. Anyway, 2020, we hit a low of like 41 or something, 41.7. We rallied back, went to a high of 64.7, which that was pretty much a false rating, I think, in 21, because the Fed was just pumping money into everything. But and they were buying the corporate bonds apparently to prop up the U.S. corporations, so they didn't have to go file bankruptcy. But then we broke back below 50. Looks like the first month we did it was November of 2022. We went to a 49, and now we bottomed out. Looks like we bottomed out here in June of 2023. Our last reading is 47.6. So we did have a tick up. We've ticked up since we bottomed out in June. So I'm hoping we've had two higher reports. July was higher, and then the August report was a tick higher also. And it was higher than these two, I believe. Yeah, that one's 47.1, that's 46.9. So we're at 47.6. So we might, and that's a big might, but we might be on our way out of this. So we could have what they call a soft landing if the Fed will pause raising rates. We might not slip into a major recession, but if we get one or two more good reports, especially if you get anywhere close to this 50 zone, I'd feel a lot better about it if we get above 50, but it's possible. So let me wheel back here. I put this. I started back here from 2008, the low of 2008. Let's put this parallel channel on it, and it lines up perfect if you do the lows from there to 2020. Now 2020 was, kind of a black swan event. You could move it up to here probably, but just for two low points, I just used that, and then I just drug it up where it maintains its trend line more or less. And man, it lines up perfect. Touched right here, here, touched here, and again right here at the top in March of 2021. So, I mean, the human eye would tell you it looks like we could come back up and test, somewhere in this 67 zone again at some point. Could do that next year. I don't know. I think it's gonna depend on what the Fed does there again. If you look over here, what it did, and you can see there was a problem. The writing was on the wall, I think, at least in June of 2006, from what I've heard. The guy that I learned from about this, he said, I think it was June of 2006, this broke the trend line of the building permits, is what it was. The building permits for housing. You know, when a builder goes down to the courthouse and gets a building permit to build a brand new house, they have to record that data with the St. Louis Fed. Usually, I think, reports it. I believe it's at least once a quarter. It could be once a month, but so if you see over here around June of 06, that was when you had this pretty good little dip right here. Let me zoom in on this so you can kind of see the zigzags a little better. It went from April to June. Low was 52. You were still about 50. And then you ticked up. But you can see you're in a downtrend pretty much since May of 2004. You could draw a trend line on top of this and see you're clearly in a downtrend. You tested the 50, you bounced off of it in 07, kind of sideways, and then by September 07, everything really started going south, and you held it, you dipped below it, you bounced back up to it, dip back below it. You tried to recover one more time in July of 2008, and then it just rolled over. In August, looks like it was right at 50.1 in August of 2008, and then it all fell apart in September was the final crash month, I believe. So definitely by October you knew you were in big trouble. It went to a 38 in October. Went to a low of 34.5 during that recession. December of 08, and then started working its way out of it. I want to say March of 09 was the exact bottom on the stock market, on the S&P or whatever, for a monthly low. But anyway, I just found this kind of interesting. I'm gonna keep watching this, and I'll try to add it to my videos to keep an eye on it, keep you posted on it. But for now, it looks decent. It looks like we may have bottomed out. 46.3 to 46. So we made a lower low on this point right here in June of 23, lower than this one in March of 23. You had a W formation, and now you could be on the right side of this W coming out of this, hopefully. You do have a green number 1 and 2. My dogs want me to let him out, so so we'll keep an eye on it. I know Gareth Soloway mentioned on Bitcoin that we had a really good daily, what they call a reversal, kind of a pivot reversal. See, over here, you had a wick up. You had your big up days. I'm put on a regular candlestick. You can see it better maybe, but you had a big up day right here, and then you retraced that back to the downside within 2 days. This is a news event. And then he's saying the same thing happened here. You had a major down day, but it's a reversal. And so now we've got an engulfing bull candle, up candle, bullish candle. So he's thinking this could be the beginning of at least a short-term rally. It could go, probably 7 to 9 days, in my opinion. Now you got to complete your weekly. Your weekly's on a 9 count. Okay, just a minute, Rowdy. Just a minute. So we need to complete this 9 count, I think, in my opinion. Now we're on the bottom for your momentum on stochastics. Your RSI didn't quite get below the 20 level right here, 20 or 30, whatever it is. And your Williams, or this isn't Williams, this is your Williams. I got this set on a 4 daily count. It bottomed out, and it's starting up on a weekly basis. That's relatively pretty strong. If we complete this week in an up count, if it's higher than it started, I would guesstimate we're close to a bottom anyway. I was thinking a week to 2 weeks. I'm thinking closer to September 24th would be the exact bottom, but we could rally. I mean, we just think it rally anytime it wants. I mean, it just depends on, what the dealers and the brokers want it to do. These are mean. I'm not done yet. All right, I better let this dog out. I got to go get my daughter from school anyway, so I'll post this up and let y'all check it out. Leave any comments, maybe hit the like button, subscribe, and if you really like it, copy the link, post it on Facebook, social media, and Twitter, and help me start getting paid for some of this stuff. Maybe I can do more of these more often. So, we'll catch y'all later.